Hi everyone, welcome to practice test lesson number 3. Today I am going to show you how to use test library. In practice test we have two modules related to testing. The first one is test library and the next one is test sets and runs. In test library you can create your own test cases. I already created 3 different test cases and I'll show you how to create a new one. So you need to create new test in here, and you can add test name here, and in general section you can add a description to your test case. Under steps you can add steps and expected results. Under traceability you can link your test case with your requirement. You can have 2 different test cases like scripted test cases and exploratory test cases. Practice test will allow you to add different type of test cases. For example, you can add manual test cases, you can add automated test cases, and also you can add exploratory testing. So in under exploratory testing, in general section you can same like scripted testing, you can add description, and under guide points you can add descriptive steps to further focus points. So now I'm going to show you my existing test cases. So if I click the first one, since from the beginning we use Southern Railway as our testing project. So under my requirement module, I have new user registration as a requirement. If you check my previous videos, you will see my requirements. So in the first one, check mandatory fields in new user registration. That is my test case name. If I go to steps, you can see the first one, select register link. So let me click cancel and I click register, and you will see a new registration window will open. In practice test, this is my step name and this is step description and this is my expected results. And this is my second step. Click on registration button and this is my step description and this is my expected results. And once you finish adding all these, you can add any attachments or screenshots under here, and then you need to click save button. If you go to traceability, I can relate this test case with my requirement module. I already added this to requirement number 1, which is new user registration, and if you want to relate this to another requirement, just click show requirements and it will show you all the requirements you have. And I already added to this one new user, and if you want to change it to another one, or you can add it to 2 different, or if you want to delete this, you can delete from here. You can do any changes and click save changes. Click test library again, and you can sort this using ID, right, ascending or descending. And if you want to clone a test case, sometimes you don't need to write test case again and again. You can clone test case and change the steps in between, or you can add multiple different steps underneath the existing test case. So what you need to do is click this button here, clone, and it will show you as a copy of check mandatory fields in new registration. You can click that and change. I will leave like a copy, right, and save the changes. And if you go to the test library, you can see that test case. You can change name anytime when you want. And I'll show you how to add filters and new fields to your test case. Filtering option is a really good option in practice test. Rather than cloning the same test case so many times, if you use folders, sometimes we have same test case multiple times. By using filters, you can keep one list of test case, and you can view it in different ways. Like you can filter it in different ways, but you can keep only one test case. So make sure when you do your deletions, make sure you will not delete your test case unnecessarily. If you delete that, it will delete permanently from your test library. So make sure, double check before you delete any test case. For example, if I want, I'll click this test case, and if I want to create a new field, right, I already have method field in here. If I wanted to create a new custom field, I will click create, and I'll give a name as environment, right? And I wanted to add a list field format, so I click list, and I can add values. I can add live and staging, and then in here I can show the field linkage to entities. So I wanted to see that field in my test, in my issues, and in my test sets, and I don't wanted to see it in instance and requirements. So I just click these ones, and if you want, you can click the other ones accordingly, and I press save, right? So once I go to the test library and click any requirement, now I have this environment field. I can select the environment, live or staging, or I can add values here. If I click staging and save, so the next time it's in staging. And also in this one I selected web. So you can add you can do testing in multiple devices, or you can do in multiple browsers. So in this one I'm going to add web as my method, so I save it, right? If you go to the test library again, and I will show you how to create filters in here. I just created method filter here, right? If I click methods, I can see all the four test cases which I created in here. But if I click mobile, this is the only test case related to mobile testing, and under web I can see all the other ones. So how you create a filter, right? Manage filter, click manage filter, and click create new filter, and you can give a filter name in here, and then create filter. So because I already created this one, this method filter, so I can see method filter. This is my parent filter, and I can create any number of child filters under parent filter. So I create add sub filter, right? And I already created mobile as a sub filter. So what I did was I selected add sub filter, then I add mobile as a name. So then once I created that filter, right, this is my mobile filter. This is how I add filter criteria. So because I already added a filter criteria, now I have edit filter. So click edit filter in here, mobile. So this is my already created sub filter, and so I select method filter is mobile, right? And this, because I created, I have the option change, otherwise it will be create filter. So already created, so this is, I just created a dummy filter. So add sub filter, let me add another name. For example, I will add mobile 2, okay, and then create filter. So my mobile too is here, and when I want to create, so filter criteria is empty at this point. So if you click this, um, if you click mobile filter, all the four test cases will showing up. But if you add a filter criteria, that means edit filter, add method is equal to mobile, change filter, and now mobile, this test case is coming under mobile 2 and mobile. So now I don't want this one, so I'm going to delete the filter. And also you can do batch edit. Before you do the batch edit, you need to select the test cases you want to edit. So select batch edit, and you can change the status ready to draft or something. You can change any of them, right? I'm changing back to ready, and environment I'm going to change into live, and update. I think that's all for test library. If you have any questions, please feel free to add your questions under my video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.